What's up, guys, and welcome to the One Realm. I'm here with Thomas,
Hey guys.
and we're going to be talking about Johnny Cage, who was finally confirmed, and I do say finally with a pinch of salt, but I'll cover that in a little bit. But Johnny Cage was confirmed, and of course, we also got the news that there's going to be a stress test coming. What is it? End of March, I think it is.
Actually, it's in a couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks, yeah. So towards the so middle of end of, or between the middle and end of March,
15th
and
through the 17th.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So definitely the middle of March. Very, very close. Awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, later we'll maybe mention that there was a leak. Now I want to say real fast that I've mentioned this a few times.
We both have.
Over the course of, I'm talking about Johnny Cage here. Leaks,
Oh.
we'll just fuck them first of all. Fuck leaks. But
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and talk about Johnny Cage real fast because this is kind of the main thing about this episode. Is I've said a few times now that I've loved Johnny Cage. He's arguably one of my top, maybe even my favorite, but definitely among my top five favorite characters in the series. But I was kind of leaning towards maybe him skipping the main roster, giving some more space to other characters that maybe haven't really had the opportunity to shine in a while, and him maybe being like a DLC character, something like that. However, now that he's confirmed, I'm honestly extremely happy because whether it's gameplay, whether it's persona, whether it's just the charisma he has and all that stuff, I absolutely love Johnny Cage. So I look forward to playing him. I think that of the characters we've seen so far, Johnny Cage and Baraka are probably the ones that look like the most fun to me. So just the fact that he looks, and they kind of mentioned it. Did you watch the Combat Cast, the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one of the things that I really liked about it is that they mentioned that Johnny Cage is one of those characters that feels very legacy in the sense that the Johnny Cage you play as feels like MK2 Johnny Cage. He just feels like the Johnny Cage that we've always known. So I think he's gonna be pretty easy to pick up and play. And for a guy like me who loves him, that's just great news.
I'm talking to Diego or Uncaged Games. No. No, I think I actually like Johnny Cage. That's that gameplay wise, I can play Johnny Cage. Probably won't be the best player, but thing yeah, I also just jump in a game and just spam where I can spam. This like I said, this time's gonna be different, but legacy. I know. I just keep spamming whatever the fuck I want to spam.
You gotta do what you gotta
But
do, man.
oh yeah. But I mean, we want to start with the trailer, or you want to start just combat cast in general? Because the trailer came out first.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about the trailer.
Okay. Well, first of all, like you already know me, I'm a man for intro dialogue. That's my shit. But Johnny Cage just always have. No matter what we say this about the movie, Johnny Cage has the best lines, hands down, every time. Right? It's funny. While it's while everything's going down, it's like, all right, this is some more Johnny Cage shit. This make me feel better. Um, so the gameplay looked awesome though. I like the fact that we got straight force balls instead of just the curved ones. Easier to, and they're 10 times faster than they used to be.
Yeah, that's an interesting little change they went with, and I am actually curious to see. I don't recall them mentioning it during the combat cast itself, whether or not maybe there'll
Mhm.
be the alternative kind of force ball to where they're
Curved.
slower and curved, or maybe
I'm not sure if they're
yeah.
slower, but they are curved still. You can do
Mm-hmm.
the curved ones.
Okay, yeah. So that'll be an interesting thing right there. And I do want to butt in real fast.
Hmm.
You mentioned Johnny Cage always has the best lines and stuff like that. It's not just that they're the
Hmm.
funniest, but they're also the most quotable. Like you think about the Mortal Kombat movie, and we did an episode recently that's probably going to be coming out after this though. So definitely check it out in the next couple days. Um, where we mentioned the amount of lines that Johnny has in that movie that you can just memorize that you'll never forget. It's insane, and it's kind of the same thing throughout the games too. So Johnny Cage is definitely one of those characters that whether you love him or hate him, he will stick in your head.
Right. Well, like hell, I still remember some stuff from MKX and MK9, but also when I'm bored, I listen to games and stuff, and Johnny Cage is one of the most quotable people you can think of. But um, I think other than just like dive into the gameplay in general, I think the best thing I saw, a lot of people was like, "Oh, I love the Ninja Mine, I love the Ninja Mine." I honestly thought he was posing for paparazzi at that point, but um, my favorite part of it was the stunt double.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The stunt. Think about it. Like, we had stunt double before where it was just like a yellow, but instead of being the green aura, it's a yellow aura. And now this fucker has instead of doing a shadow cape, he fucking clotheslined the fuck out of you.
Yeah, it's just it's a different thing that you don't expect from Johnny Cage. So the fact that they're just
You
kind of
kind of
going out,
do.
yeah, but they're going outside the box. They're not doing things that we've always
Yeah.
seen with them. So it's interesting to see what they're doing with him. And I think that of all the characters, like in MK9 and MKX, I think that Johnny Cage is really the only one that's truly come out of it 100% more interesting and better than he was in any of the other games. That's just my opinion, of course, but
Oh yeah.
I mean the story they gave him and how he's a lot more relevant, I guess, in a way. At least he gets a lot more screen time, and the fact that he's basically the most interesting character in the entire roster as of right now between MK9 and MKX. That it's interesting to see that they are taking chances with him, giving him some different stuff that we've never seen from him before, and kind of going outside the box. It's great to see. Really, it's really good to see.
Yeah. Also, another good thing too that we have the same voice actor too,
That's great. He was very good. Yeah.
because I'm not sure if we had this talk. We probably did, and like a lot of stuff happens in our life, so it's kind of hard to keep track of what little things we did talk about and what things we haven't. But I remember there was a point where um, Karen Striveman was made that post on Twitter about she might not be playing Katana Molina again, which I really hope she's in the game because I just like how you listen for, in this case, 8 years for a certain character or 10 years with Scorpion. It's like, all right, that's Scorpion, that's Katana, that's Liu Kang. They changed the voice actors; it throws everything off for you. So I like it that we still get to keep Johnny Cage's voice actor. Him, Raiden, Shinnok, and Sub Zero had all been confirmed to have the same voice actors.
Yeah, it's definitely good news because it just helps, like you said, make the characters feel like they're the ones that we've seen over the past few years, over the past couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and especially because they're actually really good voice actors. If they were garbage, something like that, then I can understand them trying to change to maybe somebody else, giving somebody else a chance. But those are three of the better ones throughout the entire uh, the new timeline. So I'm definitely excited to see that. Yeah, I think the overall Johnny Cage, the performance wise, he's probably been the most I don't know the just the most complete performances over the past couple games, and I'm definitely expecting nothing less than a stellar performance once again here in MK11.
And also, I think you needed the right dialogue for some people. So I know we talked about this before, but the whole Ronda Rousey thing, how you hate her and I'm giving her a chance. So two things. One, I think partially part of it was the face when we got at the reveal. It looked chunky. It looked a little crappy. I'm not gonna lie. It looked good, but it looked not as good as it could be. And also, only thing just go off her voice acting was with characters that don't have as much of a meaning to you that makes it feel like it's a good fit. Like, that's a good line for them.
Mm-hmm.
And what I say about that is like I said, I love the voice acting, and hell, I think I might even try to go into that eventually. But um, there's a scene with Johnny Cage versus Sonya Blade, and then um, I think the line is, "What is it going to take for you to respect me?" or something like that. And she literally says, "Partial, maybe full respect me." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what you say to your ex too." And when Ronda Rousey says it, it gives a really good delivery too. It's like, all right, I can get behind this now. I'm okay with this. And also, they fixed the face. I'm not sure if you've seen that recently, Sonya's face recently, but it's completely smoothed out. Um, the issue is that I love that Johnny Cage ages, but Sonya Blade somehow stays 30 her entire life.
Yeah, she somehow has the hot gene of just never, ever,
Uh,
ever,
Some
ever,
people,
ever aging.
maybe she's a demon too, I guess. But
I mean, that'd be an interesting little arc right there, right? She finds out that she's a
yeah,
Denian or
well, I
something like
mean,
that.
yeah, but I'd make it more clear. I think just leave it as it is.
Oh, I
But
100% agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
one thing I want to say real fast about Ronda Rousey, and we talk about her pretty often. Like I give her a lot of shit. I don't like her as a person based on what I've seen throughout her UFC stint, and that's been pretty clear. But I have been open about how I'm willing to give her an opportunity in Mortal Kombat. Now I've seen some of her acting, her live action acting, and I think she's awful, but she might do better as a voice actress. So far, as you mentioned, the first few bits of dialogue that we've seen from her, I thought was awful. It was very flat. But as you mentioned, that was with characters that really are kind of irrelevant to her character. Of
Scarlet
course, yeah, like they're relevant because they're in the same universe, of course.
game.
But they aren't
But
really related to Sonya in a deep way, whereas Johnny is. So, and
I
she
mean,
did seem better there, so I'll give her that.
like you put her with Cassie, maybe right. We'll see some sparks there. You put her with Giant, you're definitely gonna see some stuff there. Katana, yes. Liu Kang, yes. Raiden, yes. The only person I can think of that's not from the immediate family or the big names, I think you could say, is Frost. And that's like a little Easter egg because in the old timeline, Frost and Sonya just gets to a random fight for because they didn't like each other
Mm-hmm.
on the island. I think that's a small Easter egg, but too like that's something you can work with though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, man, like we'll see how it plays out, and it's kind of hard to base things off of dialogue, like short little bursts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna wait and see how she does in the story mode. If she does a good job, I'll give her props. If she doesn't, then I'll do my usual, just roaster type of thing and move on with my life. I mean, Sonya isn't even a character that I really care about that much, so I hope that she does a good job. But if she doesn't, then no harm done. Really, it was a way for NetherRealm to make some marketing moves and bring in some attention and stuff like that. But I think the guys on the Nethercast were talking about it too. Like, so far, apart from, of course, what we saw with the Johnny part, everything's been kind of flat. And
Hmm.
realistically, like, if you're looking at attracting a huge audience, Ronda Rousey's a C level actress at best. So it's not like you're expecting some amazing performance from her. But she might
Oh yeah.
surprise us, and if she does, then you never know. She might be able to progress further as a voice actress, and not necessarily as a live action actress, but as you've mentioned a few times as well, in the WWE, she's probably going to improve on that. I don't watch it, so I don't know how good she's doing, but I mean, by all accounts, by you, it seems like she's definitely improving from that point of view. So,
Oh,
I'm
well,
willing to
for
give her a
another,
chance.
I'm not gonna lie, pretend oh, well, she joined WWE because she was always a great actress. No, because I'll be the first to admit. Okay, so before that, I watched Saturday Night Live, and she was a host. Now, I'm not sure you're familiar with Saturday Night Live, but the host has to be in skit, and they have to
Yes.
act. And I was watching it, and I was like, wow, she is a terrible actress. She should not be doing this ever. And once I heard the news that she might be joining WWE, I was like, oh no, she's a terrible actress. She should not be doing this. And then she actually joined, and it's still a little cringe-worthy sometimes, but it's not her fault. It's because of the character they give her.
Yeah,
And
I
if
mean,
they gave her the
go
they
ahead,
gave her
sorry.
the badass character, like how she was portrayed in how the way you hate her, it'd be different. But no, they got her as like this goody goody two shoes, always smiling, happy Joe, and it doesn't go well. You see Ronda Rousey, people like Ronda Rousey or the attitude and shit like that. Disrespectfulness. It's the way you build a character. But and also, like I said, so maybe before, like, it's one of the things, acting, you think, like, oh, I can't do this, someone's going to be judging me like this. But voice acting, no one's watching you but the people on the other side of the box. And I'm pretty sure everybody on the other side of the box is scared of shit of you, so you got this.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of the, and by the way, there's some weird noise going on from your mic. But a lot of I think what happens when it comes to the WWE is it just kind of depends, like you said, on the character that they give you and how good the writing is. Like there's extremely cringe characters there, and there's also have been some really good ones over the years. So yeah, that's just kind of the thing with her. I think it's probably that, like you said, the character they gave her is just not really what she is. Like at first, even when she was in MMA, she would kind of try to be the nice goody two shoes, like perfect little lady type thing. But then when she fought Misha Tate for the second time, and she had to do a reality show on The Ultimate Fighter, which is basically her and her opponent are coaches, and they coach however many people on teams for a few months. And they're just constantly at each other's throats and stuff like that, and you can really see what kind of a piece of shit she is, especially because after she beat the girl, she flipped her off and was completely disrespectful. And then when she lost her 2 fights, she didn't even do any interviews afterwards. She just left, which is a coward's move if you ask pretty much anybody, because you see guys like Conor McGregor talks all that shit, gets beat up pretty badly, and then still has the balls to do interviews afterwards and do his press, and then Ronda Rousey just disappears and stuff like that. And that's, I think, one of the biggest issues, and that's probably one of the reasons why MMA fans like myself have almost zero respect for Ronda Rousey as of now. Not necessarily as a competitor, but as kind of as a person. Yeah, because of the way she handled herself. Like I said, guys like Conor McGregor, like even Brock Lesnar, who is a guy who transitioned from WWE over to the UFC. When he did lose his 2 or 3 fights, he was always he was a man about it. So it's kind of a personality thing. Like, either if you're a real badass, if you are a true badass, then you're gonna take your lumps. You're gonna admit it after the fight. You're gonna give props to your opponent, and it is what it is. But she's just kind of mentally frail, I think, and of course she beat my ass probably. But I mean, that doesn't really take much, and it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. But regardless, when it comes to performances, like I said, I'm willing to give her a chance. I'm willing to see what she does.
Right.
And I guess we can kind of get back towards Johnny Cage type of thing and talk more about his gameplay. Like, when it comes to the gameplay, apart from the force balls that are now, you can also have the curved ones, but they're also straighter and faster. But what in particular did you think that kind of stuck out about Johnny Cage?
I think other than I think that's what I said, right? The stun double.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Definitely. I think for me, I think the best thing that I've seen from him so far is the fact that, like I said, he just seems so legacy, but he looks fast. He looks fast and looks like he's a lot of fun to play. A lot of combos that are pretty easy to pull off. And I just think he's going to be really fun really early in the game. One of those characters that whenever a buddy comes around and he wants to play some Mortal Kombat, you just pick up Johnny Cage and you beat that ass. You know what I mean?
Well, if you don't, he's just also a good character to look at, because just like first before I want to go talk about the skins as well, or still about Johnny Cage.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about the skins too.
Well, I think so you see, so you look at people like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. The skins and the gear works fine. It's the shaders that stole them off. It's like, yeah, it was cool in Injustice to have a green Sub-Zero because you weren't going to really get Reptile, or to have a purple Sub-Zero or a yellow Sub-Zero because you were going to get those people in Injustice too. But now you have a green Sub-Zero, and one at first is really cool, but after a while it's like, all right, so is that Reptile? People are really going to ask that question. It's like, no, that's Sub-Zero, but Sub-Zero's blue, and then if you take the game to a bunch of people who never played it before, know nothing about it, there's the same type of people who think Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers. And then you spend most of your time explaining the gear system alone, the shaders, than you are about that when I'm playing the game. But back to Johnny, I think Johnny Cage actually benefits from it. Because I love bright colors. I hate the khakis and the navies. I wear a lot of blue. But for example, the pink, purple, and blue one, that you can actually see somebody wearing that, and it fits his character. But I think that's one thing I did like. So I think he benefits from he's one of the characters that actually benefits from the gear and shaders. in this game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. The first time I saw like Sub-Zero having multiple colors of the various already very popular ninjas, I was just thinking to myself like, what's even the point? What like why? Just why? There's so many things they could do with shaders. I mean, maybe like give them different. I don't know, just like different detailing on the gear and stuff like that. Not necessarily
Mm,
mess with the primary color of it, and I don't like that at all. But when it comes to somebody like Johnny Cage, who sure he's known for having his dark either blue or maybe black,
sometimes red.
yeah, sometimes red pants and stuff like that. But that's not really a big deal. He's not like, oh, he's the blue guy or he's the red guy or he's the green guy, he's the purple guy. He's not that. He is what he is. He's Johnny Cage, so it does fit
Well,
him.
like, yeah. I mean, did you play Injustice 2?
Yeah, I did quite a bit too, up
Okay.
until the
I was
first combat pack. Or no, sorry, what was it called? The first character pack.
Fire
Yeah,
Pack.
yeah, fighter pack. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, so we all knew Sub-Zero was going to be in that game. So that's why he was one of the first people. And friend, my friend, he was like, he loved News Out. We have this fight all the time. And, like, he was waiting for Sub-Zero because the very first thing he wanted to do once he got Sub-Zero was change him black so you have new sideline. See, and just the two, that worked. But now people are trying to rush to get try to change these colors to make their favorite ninjas. And it does suck that they're now known as the red ninja or the blue ninja, the green ninja. So there's no point of it now for them, but I think I like it that it's not just that one color though too on them. Like, I don't think we ever got some details about this, how we feel about this change. So that might be something else we talk about later in general. But
Yeah, I think that what we could do with that is when the game actually fully comes out, or at least with the beta, once we kind of get familiar with the way the gear system works when you're actually using it. You know what I mean? Like get some hands-on time with it. Maybe we can do a whole gear system episode talking about our thoughts about it, what we like about it, what we dislike, and including of course
yeah,
shaders and stuff like that. I think that'd be a really interesting one. But there's still a lot of things that I don't really know about the gear system. Like there's still a lot of questions I have that I won't really have answers of until the game's
you
actually
get it
in
on
my
your
hands.
hands.
So
Yeah,
I think we'll leave that definitely for when if we're able to get into the stress test, which I don't remember what the requirements are for that, but at the very least for the
get to be
beta.
in the U.S.
Yeah, well that's first of all that. But I mean, like if you were able to do it, then I'd be definitely willing to talk about it. But I guess we'll just have to wait until
Oh,
the full beta.
remember the shitty part is? So I think I looked at my calendars, and it's on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the day of the stress test.
That sucks.
I work Monday. I work every day except Monday and Tuesday. So the days I can actually enjoy myself and play the game the entire time, I gotta be at work for at least 9 out of those hours of that day. Now Sunday, don't get me wrong. I'm going. If I get it, I'm playing my ass off. I'm getting up at 10 o'clock and I'm going straight to my room and playing it. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't even think about. Don't even think about me. And if as long as I walk out on Monday morning alive, that's all that matters. And the house is not burned down. That also matters, yes.
That's
But
an important thing. You can't play Mortal Kombat with no house. Well, I guess you technically can, but
yeah, you take someone else's house.
that's true. But it's easier to have your own house, right?
Yeah, but I don't take someone else's house. Leon owes me a few favors, so he's gonna just. I already told him if I can't play, no one can. By no, I mean him. So I know what college he's at. All I need is a dorm that his wife probably will give me almost willingly, and break his Xbox. Now,
Oh,
yes, that might be a DOA move, down arrival, but if I can play it, no one can. And I was in such a rush to get him that link. I know he just wants to combat cast, but ah, ow. But I think the link I'm just thought right now, like, what if he gets to play the stress test and I don't?
ooh, that's the
I
ultimate
know,
fuck
right?
you, isn't it?
Well, sort of, because I get to play the beta and he doesn't because his wife and mom got onto him by spending too much money.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. I think it's equally like fuck you, but at the same time, he plays it first, so I mean that's kind of in his favor a little bit. But of course, I think the main beta is definitely gonna be a lot longer. So I don't know.
No, same amount of days apparently.
It's just 4 or 5 days, really.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
That kind of sucks, but it was to be expected. I don't think that they want people playing too much of it. You know what I mean? Enough to give them feedback, but not enough to already be kind of sick of it by the time the full game comes out. So kind of makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So before we talk about the fatality, which it was just awesome, but how about the damn it, what's the name of it? I always the critical blow, right?
Fatal blow.
Fatal blow. I always forget the name of that thing. Like when I saw that shit, I was like, oh, Johnny. I was so happy.
What I love? You were so quick to send that to me. Send I think it was Jade's at 3 a.m. or so, and send that picture to me. And dude, I already seen the whole thing. I watched the Mortal Kombat cast. But you didn't send the trailer to me when it came out. I know you watched it prior.
For Johnny Cage, you mean?
Yeah, you didn't send it to me. I woke up and found that.
Yeah, I don't remember why I didn't send it to you, but usually I do. But I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, dude, I guess I was just too in awe with it. I mean, I don't know. It's like of all the ones I've seen so far, I think that is by far my absolute favorite. Whether it's Fatal Blow or just Fatality. I guess we can just talk about the Fatality.
Well, let's just Fatal Blow first, because first of all, it's hard to say this is my favorite because it's so cool. First of all, it is clean as hell. Don't get me wrong. And so is Jade's too, because no one's seen Jade in over 4 years. But same with Barack. Well, Barack's not that. It's cool, but it's not that cool. But John, I was saying, oh, Khan's is so better than everyone else is better than Johnny Cage. You probably disagree with me when it comes out, maybe. Am I wrong?
I mean, maybe.
Exactly. And we have that's one thing I told you this before, but I was like, oh, this game is so much better than it's like the best game ever. I'm like, well, yeah, it has 25 years of practice of getting better. Well, it's just not that. It's just like it has 25 years of practice of getting this together.
That definitely helps. It definitely helps when you have that much experience to it. Yeah, you know what your fan base likes.
Mhm. But no, so you have first of all, I love the shout animations for him and Jade. And so he does like two shadow kicks, stomp on the back of the head, and then he takes out the best actor award and stabs him with it. Breaks it and stabs him with it. That is a nice Fatal Blow, I will say that.
It definitely fit his character, like 100%. Everything about it was just Johnny Cage. It was 100% Johnny Cage.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at first when I saw it, I was like, is that his fatality? Because I clipped it and it was like halfway through by the time I actually managed to start watching it, because it was on Instagram when I saw it, and I was like, is that his fatality? And then it popped up and I was like, oh, finish him. And then he did the fatality, and first of all I was like, okay, they're going with the uppercuts, that's cool. But then they did the whole thing where they cut twice, and they did the third one, and a friend of mine is actually the one that sent it. That's right. My friend Corrado, which is Conrad in Italian, he sent it to me and he's not really a Mortal Kombat fan. Like, he likes the games, and he's a huge fighting game fan, but Mortal Kombat is one of those that he doesn't really. He likes the atmosphere of it all, but he's just not a huge fan of the mechanics because he's not so good at it.
Mortal Kombat to him is our Street Fighter.
Yes, only I completely disrespect Street Fighter's story and all that stuff, whereas he likes everything about Mortal Kombat, but he's just not good at the gameplay. He likes more like Tekken and stuff. So sort of.
Mortal Kombat is for me, it's Mortal Kombat to him is Dead or Alive to me. I liked Dead or Alive. I take appreciation of the story a little bit, but I'm not gonna put up there say it's my favorite fighting game ever. Yeah. This might be my second, number 2.
That's definitely fair to say. And he's the one that sent it to me, and I said, I basically called them geniuses, and I said, do you have any idea why, what this fatality is, or where they got it from? And he said, please, John Cena, because he loves the whole John Cena memes and stuff like that, and he's hoping that Stryker's actually in the game with John Cena and all that stuff. And I said, well, no, because it's a reference to MK1, with the uppercuts and stuff like that.
Uh,
And like he who isn't a Mortal Kombat fan, he thought that was just a fucking brilliant idea. So imagine for somebody like us who knows what it is, sees it, and it was just like, oh,
well,
you
first of all,
guys nailed it
how?
out of the park this time, dude. It was perfect.
Well, first of all, they've been giving him some really the past 3 games now. He has some really good fatalities
Absolutely.
from. I think we wanted to actually rate. I know we said them, but I think one day we can actually just rate them.
Yeah, I
Like
did a
just have
video
a,
about it.
I have a no, like I have an actual compilation to tell them why this is our favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that one of these days.
Yeah, we
But
should.
um, I want to say, oh, so let's start with MK9. He knocks off the head, across the head, rips off the torso, throws the torso down, and the head pops up. That's a badass fatality. Second one, karate chops your head in half, and then sticks a wart in there and inside your brain. That's a good ass fatality.
Definitely. Really, really good. Especially the
Ah,
second one.
yeah. X, here's Johnny. First of all, I agree with Gameson, and I think I have you watched it already,
Yes,
but
you did.
the fact that it took 20 years to finally do the Here's Johnny fatality. It's a sin, but good sin. And then also the other one, we pretty much just beat your face in. And I said, like, I felt bad for him as a kid, as a teenager. And now you have this. So first, the thing, we already know what the fatality is, like where it cuts 3 times. Well, it cuts twice, and then finally gets in the third try. And well, technically, if you read it, it says 19th try, and he still doesn't get it.
I didn't notice that little detail actually.
Yeah, it says take 19.
Okay.
Well, the first time he like does it, and then the jaw falls off. And when it seems like they cut, and let's see the little boom mic, it's like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Like, are they having technical difficulties? And you see him again, and then half his neck is gone, and half his face, and it's like, who the fuck fired this guy?
It was
And
just
then
so perfect, dude.
the third one, he actually knocks off the head, but it's stuck on his face. He's like, fuck it, improv, and throws it out of the camera. So yeah, he gets some really good fatalities um, the past 3 games now.
Yeah, basically, I
Some of
mean,
the best ones.
yeah, arguably, like this one. Honestly, this one might be my new favorite fatality of all time. Like it could be 100% up there because the personality of Johnny Cage is 100% on show. It's a reference to the fact that Johnny Cage's movies are, they are what they are. They're cringy and they're full of like these weird issues and stuff like that. So it's perfect towards Johnny Cage and his backstory, and it just kind of breaks from. It adds that comic relief that Johnny Cage is famous for, but it does it in a way that we've never quite seen before. Like fatalities, they have been funny, but never something like this. At least not that I can think of. So I just think it's brilliant by it's brilliant by NetherRealm Studios, and this fatality right here. Like all the other ones that we've seen so far, pretty much all of them have been really really good. But this one in particular, I think, really gets me very excited about seeing all the fatalities in the games. There's not just the ones that they've shown so far, and of course of all the ones that we'll see from the characters, but also the ones I'm assuming you'll be able to unlock, and even the brutalities and all that stuff. I think that this might be the game with absolutely the best finishers. This is definitely going to be up there among the best Mortal Kombat games in terms of fatalities. So I'm
Well,
extremely excited about that.
one of the things I think we need to do this before the stretch test come out, at least, because if I do get lucky to get it, I want to have this video made so people know like the comparison and contrast of what we think the gear system is and what it is. But one thing I want to know, I was talking to my cousins about, because they love the game now too. These are the same cousins my that uncle would let me show them Mortal Kombat. And I was talking to him. I was like, I think you get more than two fatalities.
Yeah, it's very possible, right? It's very possible in this game.
Well, well, like you look at the gear system, and it's like if you don't want to search really hard for it, I can tell you personally because at some points of life you get bored and you listen to the Nethercast, which I love those guys. Don't get me wrong, but um, you can listen to the same podcast only so long, like maybe three times as max for me. One for the original, once while I'm driving or working out, and the third one before I go to sleep, just so I can listen to. But there comes a point when you watch every Mortal Kombat video that week, and you are forced to do the unthinkable,
Which is,
and that is listen to Dynasty.
yeah. Thankfully, I've never come to that, but I mean, I
But no,
guess it happens.
well, he doesn't talk about it, but I got to see a little glimpse of it. You can see it on anyone's too, but he's one of the people I saw a glimpse of it. I don't know, showing it off the gear system, or the kill show at the reveal event. And there's a little spot for fatality and it has two slots. So I'm thinking, because you get to pick your intros, you get to pick your outros. So I'm assuming as well, because there's like a slot on that same page, we pick those. There's a slot for brutalities and there's a slot for fatalities. So I'm assuming they made more than two fatalities for each character. At max, I'm thinking four.
Well, I mean, it could be a case of some characters have more and stuff like that, but I don't think they would go and do that. But regardless, I mean, hey, the more the merrier. As long as the quality is good throughout the entire game. Like, I don't want it to be a case of there's so many that they kind of ran out of ideas. Like, it's kind of seemed like from MK9 and MKX, there were quite a few that were pretty much the same, just kind of changed slightly. So I don't want any of that. But if they're able
Well,
to maintain the quality, then I'm definitely down for as many as possible. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I think that does. So a lot of people don't want to do fatalities because of the fact that um, you see one, you see them all. It feels like sometimes, and that goes with the same way. You see the same two, and someone only plays with that character. You're never going to do one or two fatalities. You doing three or four fatalities for each character that's special to those characters. It can switch it up. That's the one thing I said can get faction wars and
Mm-hmm.
brutalities. Brutalities made it fast and it was over. Fatalities, you've seen them all before, so I was like, yeah, but I'm bored now. And the faction kills, you can, depending on what team you're on, it could be anything. So I think the true winners of MKX was the faction kills and the um, brutalities.
Yeah, I definitely think that those are the kind of the ones that stuck out as like the most. I'm not gonna say innovative, but the ones that kind of, as time went on, were the most interesting to do because brutalities were very difficult. You had to do a certain set. Well, not all of them, but most of them were
Yeah,
really
I
difficult,
say,
and you have to do a select. Some certain requirements, stuff like that, and then once you nail it, it was very rewarding. Whereas fatalities, you have to memorize them first of all, which of course you have to do somewhat with brutalities, but to a lower degree. You can just kind of remember a few and then roll with it, kind of like fatalities, but still, it was very different. And then there was just something rewarding about it, and it was very very
well,
difficult to do. So it just kind of made it feel like when you were doing it, it wasn't just repetitive, and you couldn't do it every match. Whereas fatalities, as long as you win, you can do it. So it was.
like another thing too, like the fatalities. You okay? So I won't lie. If I was going against like trying to actually fight people and win matches, I'll pick um, Melina or Cassie. And after some point, um, seeing those same two fatalities on both characters, it gets boring. It's like I almost don't want to do it. Melina, I just knew her. I could do her brutality like the back of my hand easily, either kick from above or the a roll. But the Cassidy's, I didn't give her brutality because just first of all, I hate using the gun because I feel like it took too not that it took too much, but like if you didn't do it at the right spot, then it's like oh you're too far or oh you were too close. It just gets annoying. But let's see, I think that's all in Johnny though.
Yeah, that's
Other
pretty
than like
much.
really well getting too much details on it, and that's the thing too. I don't want to start talking gameplay really. 'Cause I know a lot of people we say that we don't have much about gameplay, but it's like you can talk. You can pretty much repeat someone else's words all you want, but I'd rather give my own impressions off it
Hmm.
and then talk about that.
Yeah,
So that's just
I
like a little
agree.
heads up.
Like if you want to watch gameplay stuff, then definitely just go watch the combat cast. Just watch that because those are literally the developers of the game. Those are the guys that have the hands on. They're playing it.
No, yeah.
So experience that. We haven't even played the game, so we have no idea what it actually feels like. We have no idea
I
what
said,
Johnny Cage is actually about. So we just know what we see. That's pretty much it. So just if you want
and
gameplay, go listen to them.
I would love to say like, oh, so you can do this hitbox right here. Like, say no. I want to just say, hey. First of all, we're Xbox guys, by the way, too. So don't expect us to be very technical with this. Like, we're not gonna say, oh, well, do back forward one. Like, no, back forward X.
Yes, or at the very least, PlayStation buttons and stuff like that.
Square.
Yeah, I'm down with PlayStation and Xbox. So those are the buttons that I'm familiar with. I'm not. I mean, of course, one, two, all that stuff. It's fine, but it doesn't really come natural to me because
Yeah.
arcades.
Well,
It was kind of over by the time I was like 6. So
and not even that, just the fact, because I get part of it because you have the Xbox and it's like, okay, press X. And you hit X for X, right?
uh huh.
Well, you tell someone on PlayStation to press X, they're hitting A. That's in our language.
Yeah.
So that's the only difficulty. That's why I understand the whole. And I know what it is now. It's X is one or square, two is triangle or Y, three is A or X, and four is B and circle. So I understand the lingo, but it's like I know the lingo, but I'm not gonna waste my time trying to explain it that lingo.
Yeah, especially because I don't know, at least for me, like if somebody says down back at 1 or something like that, I have to for a split second I have to think about it. It doesn't come
Yeah,
natural to me. As it like if somebody says, "Okay, on PlayStation, down back X," I know exactly what it is. It's just normal. But yeah, like you said, we're gonna be talking more like on Xbox, and then it's pretty understandable for everybody. I'm pretty sure that even PlayStation owners they know X, A B X Y, they know where all that stuff is, so it's no big deal.
that's what I'm saying. We'll make sure we put that ahead of time. That we have Xboxes. This is why we might say Xbox lingo.
Okay, yeah, yeah, make sure
Yeah.
everybody knows. Yes. All right, you
Okay.
wanted to
So,
talk about it,
well,
the
do you
league.
want to do that, or you want to spend more time on stress test?
I mean, there's
I
really
know.
not much to say. I guess you could kind of. I don't have anything to say on it. If you want, go ahead.
I mean, it's just if one of us are lucky to play it, it's gonna be me because I choose to live in the U.S. of A.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
I don't even
and I have some
care.
bad news for you too, buddy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Um, so I was looking into the beta thing, and you might want to double check on your Amazon shit.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a code yet. I
Well,
have
that's the
not.
thing too. So I'll send you a link to it later, but there was a article in WB, and it says make sure that whoever you buy it from actually provides a beta code for you. Otherwise, you won't have access to it.
Okay.
So places for sure, I think they said were obviously Best Buy and obviously GameStop. But you can't expect everyone to give you a beta code as well.
Okay.
I mean, like, so if you were to try to get your money back now from Amazon and just go, because you already paid on a card, I would go ahead and just buy it online and put it on your Xbox. Or take the money and go to GameStop, whatever one you're going to do. And even if you, like, at least with GameStop, you put $5 down, or hell. Okay, I'm not against doing the wrong thing, but I also don't support doing the wrong thing. Take $5, go to GameStop and get your beta code, put it on your Xbox, and just don't pay for the rest of the game. It's $5 extra, but it's $5.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's just I prefer not to give money to GameStop. But if I'll send Amazon an email, and if they say that they're not going to give me a beta code, then yeah, they can stick it up their ass, and I'll just have to go over to GameStop no matter what.
Yeah,
It's
like they
worth
just
it. Yeah.
take $5 to GameStop
Yeah.
and be done with it.
Yep.
That's the thing. I've never seen that picture of my stuff. Like, yeah, that's. I know for sure. I get my beta code and I get my DLC regardless now. I don't think it doesn't matter if I pay for it or not, but I made it this far. I might as well finish paying on it.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But
I need to
okay,
do that. I need to do that. I wasn't aware of this, so thank you for letting me know.
yeah, I knew that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, we talked about that real quick because I'm like, oh yeah, there's not much to say about the stress test because, well, it's 3 days and that's it. You get 3 days to play the game if you're lucky, one of the lucky few.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all that there is to say about it. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I have nothing particular to say. I say we just move on to the leak, I guess.
Yep.
And I will go ahead and say
So,
this,
yeah.
because Thomas has looked at it and he knows a lot more about it. But basically, what happens is one day I was scrolling down on Instagram, and a fan page had posted like spoilers, something like that. It's like, okay, spoilers. We'll see what the hell it is. I looked at the description and it said the full roster been leaked and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm not gonna give it the time of day. So later that day, I go back on Instagram and something happens that I wasn't aware of, which is that, you know, on Instagram posts you can have multiple pictures. Like I think it's like up to 10 or something like that. And I didn't know this, but if you go back on Instagram, they will actually put up the same post but on one of the different photos. So I saw Noob Saibot and I immediately realized, okay, this is the same thing I just saw earlier. I don't want to see anything else, so I went ahead and unfollowed the page at least for a while. And that's pretty much all I know about the leak. All I know is that pretty much the entire roster was leaked, and Noob Saibot I saw. So like I actually saw the in-game picture of Noob, so I'm assuming that's probably 100% real. But that's all I know. So if you want to kind of fill us out, on, not without giving us any spoilers and stuff like that, just kind of
Hmm.
explain, I guess, some of the details because I don't know, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners don't either.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. That's why I talked to him before. I talked to you before this because I want to make sure that you did. If you knew, we can talk more in details about it. But even then, I didn't want to talk about the whole thing. There's two parts about this thing. One, I found out because I just got off work. Well, I was at work. My friend texted me, and he was like, "I'm so happy now." Actually, I'm trying now, so pull it up real quick. The roster. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, and of course, first of all, I don't even get a chance to respond because I'm at work and I have to work before I can just. I can put my phone at work. But he says, "Where is it?" Oh, Have you seen the leaked photos? Guess who's confirmed? Your boy knew. Like this is all under. Let's see. He's texting me at 8:28, and he's in that last text. Oh, he texted me all that in 1 minute, and I don't get to text back to him until like 10:02.
The man was excited, no doubt about that.
Very. Like I said, he knew side about it. Knew side about Liu Kang and Sub Zero are his favorite characters. And that's the thing too. He's been fighting me from left and right about New being in the game. And like, we all knew he was going to be in the game, but we didn't know when he was going to be revealed, pretty much. And what I mean by that is that. So you remember when we were watching the reveal trailer and we saw like a ball go through?
Mm-hmm.
So I was on Discord, and somebody at the event actually took a picture of it, and it looked good. And I had ball, so I showed it to my friend. Well, Leon was so convinced that that was new Cybot instead of Scorpion on that screen. And I wanted to support him on it. I was like, dude, it's not Scorpion. I mean, that's not new Cybot. Scorpion is literally the face of the company. He said, yeah, but why is it purple? And I said, it's dark where they're at. It kind of looks purple. It looks purple or slightly dark. It's not a new sci-fi. And then his wife is over there. She's saying like it's green or something. Pretty much they're both colorblind. Okay, they're both freaking colorblind. And this is the other thing. This happens a lot. We get into a fight and she's right there, and I just because I want to get her reaction. And then she doesn't care about the game. She doesn't. She knows of it a little bit, and she just watches us fight at this point. And this is like after he's watched the Broly movie too, so he's really happy and hyped up. But um, we're at dinner, we're talking, and we're actually starting to get into not a real screaming match, but like get into it like hardcore. Like that's new. Like no, it's not. That is no, it's not. He's happy, you know. The new Cyber's one of their characters. I don't want to take his happiness away, but I'm like, it's not new Cyber, dude. Now, back to the league. I'm still freshly new about this. I'm like, where did that come? Send me a picture of it then. First, I told him that was just a fake picture. I said that's not real. That's not fake news. And he's like, how? I'm like, I literally said, after 8 years being my friend, you're still asking this question. And he thought I was being serious by a real question. Like, dude, wherever you say I have to disagree with you, just out of spite. And that's just who I am. And he knows this more than anyone. But, so he told me Super League. Well, Super, he watched the video from Super. And I'm like, okay, when I get home, I'll actually look into it. Because not a lot of people were posting about it just yet. And then before I do that, I go to another cast, and Cyborg's reaction is, well, not his real reaction obviously, but his little video he does prior was perfect. And it kind of overcast how I felt the entire thing of the whole league being lost, the whole roster being leaked. But it is very unfortunate. So first of all, I'm happy because one of my favorite characters is going to be in the game anyway. We already knew that. Katana. Like that was back. We figured that back at the reveal of it. That being said, there is nothing like working your ass off for 4 years on something just for somebody else to ruin it for you. And I don't mean ruin. First of all, I feel bad for Ed and the entire NetherRealm team. Like I said, they worked 4 years on this game, and first of all, they did it to themselves, sort of. Instead of let's pull out our handy calendars real quick. Well, we're going on more than an hour right now, dude.
It's all good. No worries.
I know. Yeah, but oh shit, this is hard sometimes. Damn it! Even every other app but that. So we got a reveal on January 17th, right? And we're looking at about what we looked at back then, like a 25 character roster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. But 15 weeks to work with this. To reveal a little less than 25 characters, whatever 25 minus 7 is. Let's go with that. I know what the number is, but I don't care right now. But that whole thing is they knew we're short in time. Now they decide, all right, let's wait 2 weeks before we reveal anyone else. And then that snowstorm happened. And well, I understand that was just out of their control. That's Mother Nature. If I learned anything over the past 24 hours is that we don't control the shit. It just happens. So you have this whole roster that everyone is chomping at the bits to see. And instead of either A, making your your streams longer, showing off more characters. You show one character at a time, and it's every week. And even last week, 2 weeks ago, we did Cabal, we did Jade. We used 1 week for the mobile stream, and then we used last week for Johnny Cage. So you could have shown. And I'm not saying big names right now either because you could have used week 1 to show off Ball and Liu Kang. Everyone knew he was in the game. Then you could have used week 2 to show off Jade and Katana. Week 3, if you still want to go that mobile route, fine. Show off a character in there. A new character. And just so, oh yeah, we have that actually the mobile stream finally. And that's what that was about. Diego.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Alright, I was saying, just guess what that was about. Oh, we're putting the same characters that we just showed off. And not all the same characters, just characters, a handful of characters. So, Scorpion, Raiden, and Jade in the old mobile game.
Yeah, I think that the thing that pissed me off the most about that Combat Cast is that they had teased that there was going to be a character revealed there. Literally nothing was revealed. So you could even see like everybody on the live chat and everything. Everybody was pissed because they pretty much tuned into something that, for the most part, nobody really cares about that much. Like nobody's, at least not most people aren't deeply passionate about the mobile game. They'll play it just for fun every once in a while, but like nobody wants to sit through like an hour live stream. Well, I guess that one was only 30 minutes long, so nobody wants to really sit through a 30-minute live stream about a mobile game. So
Well,
that
so
was
for
pretty
example,
disappointing for me.
well, let me put it like this too. I haven't really had the game on my phone since 2016, and that's because at some point I did get to like being paid, free to pay, where you buy stuff. That's completely by your choice. No one telling you to buy these characters because it doesn't matter if you have the character or not. You can kick ass with your team you build up from day one still.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's only said like, oh, they tricked me to buying this. Like, no, you're just stupid, and you buy it yourself. Um, what else? So yeah, that's going on 3 years now. Now, when the mobile game came out finally, when the mobile game stream happened, I downloaded it again just so I can try the new characters. And I guess 3 years is a long time because I completely could not navigate that thing for the life of me. But even then, they added stuff, but they didn't really add anything. It's the whole reason why I would play before was to go through the very little towers they had on the map and do that so I could do the fatalities. That was all.
Yeah, the only reason I ever
So,
played it really was to get the skins that you could get in the game, like Farmer Jacks and stuff like that.
mm,
That was pretty much the only reason I played it.
so I'm
But
just
wasn't a
so
fan.
yeah. But that's the thing. So I looked at him like I still have my phone now, but like I'm probably not gonna play it. Maybe for those skins only, but hell, if the skins aren't that good, I probably won't get it because there's really not a point anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a shame, but I guess it kind of is what it is, you know. But
Yeah.
you make a good point. You know, like they're on such a tight schedule as it is when it comes to revealing characters. If they actually want to reveal them all by the time the game drops, then they need to hurry up. But honestly, like at this point, I think they're probably not going to do that, um, unless they do like random little drops throughout the week. But it doesn't really seem like that. And regardless, like whether or not that was their plan, it really does fucking suck to see that a large amount of the people who are going to buy the game already know the characters that they were, hoping to make a big splash with. So
Well,
it just sucks.
and that's another really touchy subject right there. Because again, you asked me this question last week, and I didn't think about it until you told me it. But it's like they were saying they pushed off a new character that week. I mean that day, and I mean they just showed off the trailer with IGN. So you would think like, okay, maybe they're gonna show off Johnny Cage and someone else. No, they strictly just did Johnny Cage.
After they said that they were gonna reveal Johnny, they're gonna show Johnny, and then they said that there's going to be a big
Had
reveal,
special
but it
announcements.
was the
And it was
fucking beta thing.
stress
It's
tests.
like, God damn it.
And then
What are you
like everyone's
doing?
going to play the stress test.
Yes, it's like, fuck you. Show us a goddamn character.
Yeah.
We need that right now. It's like, it's for their good too. You know, we need to get. I guess they have a schedule, but I don't know.
But
It's
that
just,
also,
yeah, it's
but
just kind of off.
that same touchy line though is like, yeah, a lot of people who are gonna buy it are gonna now already know their characters are the characters are in it. But it's like not only that the opportunity, but it kind if the roster is a huge selling point for you, then you kind of want to know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Is this another MKX roster, or is this going to be an actual good roster? And like I said, I'm not going to pull the whole thing for you, but there's one problem in there, and that's just the fact that you can't have your cake and eat it too. I realize,
Mm-hmm.
and certain characters that I'm gonna be honest, that everyone's like, oh, they're shoo-in this time. Obviously, are not in there, and you can take a wild guess too. I'm not gonna say yes or no, but um, they're not on there. No, yes, you do have some 3D error representation, some MKX representation, and you have a few new characters too. But at the same time, some of those characters could have been made DLC, and you wouldn't bat an eye. Johnny Cage is one of them.
Exactly. As I mentioned earlier.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. We both agree that he could be in DLC, and this is what I say too. Just because you're DLC doesn't mean you can't be in the story, or doesn't mean you can't fight them in the story. You can fight with them, but you can fight against them if you want to, I guess. So that's what they did with Tanya last year. And that might be the case with some of the characters that are missing from this roster. And there are probably DLC. There's 6 of them, so we'll find out. But it sucks that they worked their ass off on it. They also kind of had it coming by not revealing a lot of stuff. And we don't know what half these stages look like still. We only know what 3 that they show off at the streams, and then the one extra we get on trailer reveals. And I'm like, if we're going to show the stage off in the trailer reveal, show it off via gameplay as well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, it's kind of hard to see what the hell their plan is and their schedule, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I guess it's their thing. It's theirs to do, and as you mentioned, it is a good thing in a way that we know that at least the people that really would care about the roster, like they really need it to be a great roster from the one to buy the game. At least they know what they're getting into. Whether they like it or not, then they can kind of decide on that. But at the same time, I mean, anybody who's listened to our previous podcast that was all about leaks, then they'll know neither one of us is a fan. But at the end of the day, as most things that are on the internet, you can decide not to see it. You can do your best to
Yeah.
avoid it, and realistically, if you saw it, more than likely you were, if not looking for it, then you were at the very least not against, peeking at it.
Looking at
So
it.
yeah, so
And that's my thing too. I will admit that I didn't want to look at it, but I also wanted to know. I like this to another podcast. So I'm like, if they're going to talk about it, might as well just know what the hell they're going to talk about. And they give you the fair warning to leave before they start talking about it. But I like listening to them in general. They're just a bunch of funny guys who like the same thing I like. So I'm going to listen to the whole thing out. Now, what NetherRealm Studios do now for the rest of this period is up to them. But I don't know. Next week we're getting Kano, and a lot of people want to see Kano's gameplay. Don't get me wrong, but why didn't you do that from the beginning? Like you revealed him like off stage somewhere. You should have already showed Kano off at this point.
yeah, I definitely
Huh?
agree with you there, and I'm hoping that they'll reveal another character on that same maybe they'll have them fight or something like that, and we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, I guess it's just kind of we have to just wait and see and roll with the punches until the beta comes out and the full beta, and then we'll see what happens. I guess.
What I can say for you to give you some solace is that you will like the roster.
Okay.
You will. But at the same time, it's not because this is not first of all, this is not going to be a surprise to anyone right now. That like I said, some of our favorite characters that we wanted and we pulled for are not going to be in there. And I'll tell you one that's not going to be in there. Reiko.
Okay. Well, that makes sense though. I didn't really expect him to be in there.
It's someone you want, but it's like if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to cry about it.
Yeah.
And then I want Reiko eventually, but I guess just give it time to do it the right way, I guess. But that's all I'm going to give you because like I'm going to let you figure it out on your own, and someone else ruins it for you. But I just know it's not going to be me, Leon. But yeah, that's all I got really. It's unfortunate. They kind of did it to themselves, and you're gonna like it because I like it. Well, and we typically do like the same things.
Yeah, I mean that's good news. I'm happy with that. At the very least, like I'm sure I can guess who it is, but I think I'll just leave it to everybody's interpretation. Don't want to get people thinking about certain things, and just kind of lead them down the wrong path or something like that. And I'll just let it be what it is. And if people want to look at it, they can. I'm not against it, but if I'm gonna avoid looking at it. Maybe I'll end up looking at it like before I listen, because I haven't listened to Nethercast in a while for the main purpose of just kind of avoiding spoilers and stuff like that. So. Because I do kind of want to go into this somewhat blind, at least wait for the reveals and stuff. But at the end of the day, I might just go ahead and look at it eventually, and it's not that big a deal for me. So, I mean, I guess we can kind of wrap it up here. We talked about Johnny Cage. We talked about leaks. We talked about the
stress tests and betas,
stress tests, and some other stuff as well. So, I mean, I think that if I were to rate Johnny Cage's reveal, the gameplay, based on what we've seen, of course, not actually hands-on, the fatality, the fatal blow, just everything about the reveal on Johnny Cage and the way he looks and stuff like that, I'm gonna go ahead and say, man, I think it's a perfect 10 out of 10. Everything I saw about Johnny Cage, I've absolutely loved so far.
I can agree to that. Maybe like a 9, because like I said, I always just looking wise, the stats this game is great. But I don't know. I wouldn't play as Jade, but Jade might not be the person I can play with. So it's just one of the things you have to. I want to say 8 or 9, just until the game actually comes out.
No, I mean purely by a reveal point of view, not like the
same.
Yourself. Yeah.
Same. The way they did it was great. I like everything about it, but like I said, I want to hold that extra 1 until I play the game myself.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And I can 100% agree with you there. So, I mean, if I don't have any final thoughts other than, you got caged!
And, all right, guys.
Yeah, all right. See you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you the next one.